Peace, 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 fam. What it is, it's your brother Todd Monsueno, aka the Orthodox Moor. Islam to the family. And assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to all the Muslims out there. So, real quick, family, I was looking at a video that I found to be extremely intriguing that a Moorish brother put out there about Muhammad being the last prophet or not, and whether or not the people of African descent in America could be sent to prophet. And basically addressing this concept of, is Muhammad the last and final messenger, or is he the seal of the prophets? So I should link this down below, and I will afterwards. But it's a video by Brother Rami Salam El. It's a very, very well put together video, and I suggest everybody go check it out. And so I'm in watching the video, there was something that I noticed that was not in the video. And I want to point out some linguistics to the fam as to why the Quran stipulates that Muhammad is not the last and final messenger. I want to break this down via the Arabic of the Quran, because a lot of people get some stuff mixed up in terms of what it says and what it means. And so there's a term that pretty much every Muslim knows, Khatam al-Nabi'in, right? Or the seal of the prophets, right? And that word Khatam is a very particular word. It has a couple different meanings to it, or a couple different ways it can be used. It can be used in a verb form. It can be used in a noun form. So a verb is an action, and a noun is a person, place, or thing. And so we need to understand what this all means, right? Like, and how it relates. Is the prophet, is he the seal of the prophets in a noun form? Is he the seal of the prophets in a verb form? Because if it's a verb form, then it's the finalization of something. It's the sealing. It's the putting the lid on something, right? But if it's the noun form, it has another meaning to it. It means the concept of like a signet ring, almost a sign or symbol thereof. And that's a whole different concept than the finalizing of something. But real quick, fam, without further ado, I'm gonna get into a screen share real quick. And I want to just get into some stuff with the fam. Bam. Sent to everyone. Wow. So in Surah 33, Ayat 40, we have this verse that most Muslims know of as identifying Muhammad as being the last and final messenger, right? It says in the English translation, Muhammad is not the father of any one of your men, but he is the messenger of Allah and last of the prophets, and ever is Allah of all things known. And so we see that word wakhatama for it says and seal, right? Where it would say down here last, right? Wakhatama. Right. You know, let me go back real quick just so people can see this. We'll go word by word so people can see this. Right? كان محمد أبا أحد من ولكن رسول الله وختم النبيين وكان الله. All that, right? All that, right? But here's the part, right? وختم النبيين, and seal of the prophets, right? So let's go to this word right? And it's saying here that it's being used in a noun form, whereas it could be used in a verb form for sealing something, right? So let's look at what it's used as in a verb form, for instance, right? And this, we'll use the same one, in a verb form, the same word, right? Say, have you considered if Allah should take away your hearing and your sight and set a seal upon your hearts, which deity other than Allah could bring them back to you? Look how we diversify the verses, then they still turn away. So here we see it being used again as the concept of finalizing something, right? Putting a lid on something, right? There's that context, but that's not how it's being used here. It's being used as a noun, right? And so what's the significance of this? What's the significance of this? So again, either Prophet Muhammad is the Khatam an-Nabiyyin, right? The seal of the prophets, or he's the last and final messenger. What is it saying then? Is it saying that he's the last, or that he's the seal? Now, here's why I point this out, because in the Arabic, it's clear. If you want to say that he's the last, there's a way of saying that that's unequivocal, to where there is no quibbling back and forth as to what it could possibly mean, right? It's very, 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 very clear. For instance, if you want to say the last and final, one of Allah's names, right, is Al-Akhir, the last, right? The first, the last concept, right? They're like the concept of like Alpha, Omega, like the beginning and the end. He is Al-Akhir, the last, right? Al-Awwal, the first. Al-Akhir, the last, right? So it's not saying, for instance, that Prophet Muhammad is Akhir al-Nabi, or Al-Akhir al-Nabi, right? Or just Akhir al-Nabi, period, right? It's not saying that. It could say he's the last, but it's saying he's Khatam. Khatam. So we know that this is a clear revelation. So what's the significance of the word Khatam? Because there has to be a significance to it. Let's see which one I got here. No, that's the wrong one. Bam. So let's check this out. The Quran makes a very interesting claim. In Surah 7, Ayah 157, it says, those who follow the messenger, the unlettered prophet whom they find written in what they have of the Torah and the gospel. So it's saying right there that Prophet Muhammad is mentioned in the Torah and the gospel as the unlettered prophet. That's pretty significant. Where do we find this? We find this in Isaiah chapter 29. I'm going to read some stuff out real quick. For the Lord hath poured out, starting in verse 10, and I'm going to go down to verse 12. Okay. For the Lord hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and hath closed your eyes. The prophets and the rulers, the seers, hath he covered. And the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I cannot, for it is sealed. And the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I am not learned. So it's saying here, right, that the learned get the sealed book and they can't open it up. But then it's delivered to an unlearned person, a person that's not learned, or an unlettered person, right? The claim of Muhammad is the fact that he was an illiterate prophet. That's the sign of his prophethood, right? And so the Quran is stipulating that he's mentioned as the unlettered or unlearned prophet. And here it's stating that, right? But it's stating that he's a prophet who has delivered upon him a sealed book. Let's go check out what this word is in Hebrew. So in Surah, I'll do this. In Surah 10, Ayat 94, it stipulates So if you are in doubt about that which we have revealed to you, then ask those who have been reading the scripture before you. The truth has certainly come to you from your Lord, so never be among the doubters. I.e., if there's any doubt to you about what's being revealed in the Quran, to go to the previous scriptures for clarity. Right? So we see that the Quran pointed us to the previous scriptures, and we're going back to the previous scriptures, right? So I'm going back to the previous scriptures and going back to the Hebrew, which is a sister language to the Arabic and a foundational language to the Quranic Arabic at that, right? We see that it's talking about a sealed book. And when I click on this word sealed, it says khatam. Khatam. It's the same words in Arabic, khatam. Same word. Same. And we see that it's a verb form of the word. So this book has been sealed. The lid has been put over it, right? In fact, I wonder if you can hear this. I'm gonna hit this and see if you can hear it anyway. Khatem. Right? And then out here you can see that there is the Arabic equivalent, right? And we see that it means hatem, a primitive root to close up, especially to seal, make an end, mark, seal up, stop. No issue with that, right? No issue with that whatsoever. But let's check something else out. Because this is something that the brother brought up in the video, which is a fantastic point. He went through the etymology of the word seal and showed that, oh, it means a sign. It means a sign of something, right? And when he said that, that's what made me jump off. I was like, "Oh, bam! I need to put everything in the context of the signet, because this is what seal means, okay? In the noun form, So I believe it's this one here. Let me double check. All right. Here we go. Hawthem, right? This is the noun from the verb form, okay? From the verb form, right? Whew. Khotam, there we go. So it says here in the noun form, that it is a signature, a ring, a seal, a signet, right? A sign of authentication is the concept, yeah? The ring that, here we go, a seal ring, the ring that does the sealing itself. So there's a ring, and then there's the sealing. There's the noun, there's the verb. The verb is the lid being put on top of, the casting thereof. And then the seal, the signet, is what authenticates the seal mark. It's what actually lets you know it's bound up by something, right? It authenticates the mark. So Prophet Muhammad, and here's, hold on, let me break this down even further, right? So again, it says in Isaiah 29 that he's revealed a book, that he gets this sealed book, right? He gets this sealed book, Prophet Muhammad, right? So it says in Daniel chapter 12, right? And he said, "Go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed till the time of the end." Says it again. "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased." Right? So the concept of this book that's sealed, right, is that it will be opened at one point. It will be opened at one point. So if it's going to be opened, it needs the key to open it. So Prophet Muhammad in this sense is the signet. He's the key to the lock. He's the authentication to the seal. No one else can open the seal but Prophet Muhammad. No one else can open the seal. That's what makes him the seal of the prophet. That's what makes him the signet of the prophet. He's the sign and the symbol of prophethood, of of the unlearned prophet. Right? All that. Without him, the book doesn't get unsealed. That's all there is to it. And so for Muslims, you need to understand that the prophecy that authenticates Muhammad in the Bible also authenticates the Quran. And it authenticates both in such a way to let you know, hey, he's the signet of the prophets. He's the one who opens this sealed book. He's the one who opens this sealed book. Khatam does not mean in this sense the last and final. Oh, let me go to this one. Yeah, again, it's the noun form. Wahatam. Wahatama. The seal. It's linguistically, you can't make the argument that he's the last and final messenger, again, because he's not Ahir and Nabi. He's Hatam and Nabi. Hatam and Nabi. And the brother beautifully points out in the video where it stipulates that every nation gets a prophet speaking their own language, no less. And so here's something I like Muslims to think about as well, right? So here's something. I'm freestyling this part. I'm a freestylist. Where are we going? Where's it at? Where is it at? Esau, where you at, my man? So if there's no other prophet that returns, right? Let's see, where are we at? I got a hunch you're over here. Good old. I love this. And beware the day when Allah will say, "O Jesus, son of Mary, did you say to the people, take me and my mother as deities besides Allah?" He will say, "Exalted are you. It was not for me to say that which I have no right. If I had said it, you would have known it." And again, this is a verse that every Muslim knows. They know this. If I had said it, you would have known it. You know what is within myself, and I do not know what is within yourself. Indeed, it is you who is knower of the unseen. So this is in reference to when Jesus is supposed to come back with a message clarifying misinformation. So we already know that Isa alayhi salam is a prophet. We know that he's a prophet. And we know that he's said to be, oh, let me find another one, because he's supposed to be a sign for the for the day of judgment, right? Does it keep saying the day when Allah will say, the day when Allah will say? No, this isn't it. But bottom line, every Muslim knows that Jesus is prophesied to come back within the Quran. And I believe it's Surah. Let me run through this real quick. I believe it's in Surah. It's got to be Surah 5. No, that's not it. Let me do this real quick. Jesus sign. Where is that verse at? Where is that verse at? Where is that verse at? There we go, 4361. That's my joint. There we go. And indeed, Jesus will be a sign for knowledge of the hour. So be not in doubt of it and follow me. This is the straight path. This this is a sign pointing to Jesus coming back. Right? And so we already saw that in Surah 5 that he has a message that he's coming back with. So the Quran itself stipulates that not only is Muhammad, not only is he the seal, right, in a signet format, in noun form, in the Arabic, not the verb form, but a noun form. It also stipulates that Jesus is going to come back one more time. That Isa is going to come back one more time. And then he's going to have a message. So if Muhammad is supposed to be the last and final messenger, what will be understood as Akhir, right? And again, for all the Muslims out there, right, like you understand this concept of Akhir, right? Like, so like the hereafter, the Akhirah, right? The afterlife, right? Everything that's last and final, like it's Akhir, right? So if Muhammad is Akhir, then how is it that Jesus comes back and comes back with the message? If Muhammad is Akhir, if he's the last, and not the Khatam, but Akhir, right? So if he's the last, why and how does Isa come back? So with that question, right, and with that breakdown of the Arabic and the Hebrew and the noun and the verb form, right, and the concept of the fact that he's a prophet with a sealed book, that he is the seal that opens that book, right? I ask a similar question that the brother asked. Why is it that people in America couldn't have a prophet? Particularly in the day of English. We see that English is a language that spans the globe. So if Arabic was a large lingua franca, or turned into a lingua franca at its time, and we see a language that spans the globe, like English, why wouldn't Allah send a messenger to speak English to an American people? Particularly when he never said he was going to stop messengers coming. And there's nothing in the Arabic that you can point to that says that that Prophet Muhammad is the last and final. It's very clear that it's in the noun form. The noun form is not a sealing up of something. So here's another question, right? Like, so if he's the last and final messenger, I don't want to put this. If he's the last and final messenger, right, we see that this book here is sealed until the time of the end. And it's sealed in the verb form. So if you're telling me Muhammad is the verb form, who is the noun form that unseals it? Who is the noun seal of the prophets that unseals this sealed book? Because it says in Isaiah that it's the unlettered prophet, the unlearned prophet, just like it says in the Quran. So if this book is sealed in a verb form, and the prophet is sealed in a verb form like you're trying to tell me he is. And again, I'm not trying to be defiant here. This has nothing to be about, this is nothing about being defiant, right? In Islam, we're supposed to stand for justice, even against ourselves. So if I'm wrong, I'm asking for the correction here. Please understand, if I'm wrong, please, I don't want to be incorrect. Show me where I need to be correct. But I'm going to need you to show me based upon the Arabic, and based upon what we found, what I've been looking at already, right? I need you to chop that up. So again, I'm not trying to be defined here, but I'm asking this question. If Prophet Muhammad is the seal in terms of the prophets in a verb form, who's the seal in the noun form that unseals this book? Because as far as I understand, this is not only foretelling of the prophet coming, but foretelling of the Quran coming. So if Muhammad's not the noun form, I'm hard pressed to understand how the Quran came, or who the noun form is that unseals this book. But with that, family, I'm not going to make this too long of a video. Again, please check out Brother Rami Salamel's video. It's a fantastic video. He does a lot of good work, a lot of fantastic breakdowns. I love how he goes through multitudes of different books at one time. It just shows you a fantastic swath of what different books have to say about the same thing. Again, family, I didn't make up the Arabic. I didn't make up the Hebrew. Right? But they are sister languages, and they work together, right? And one is being corroborated by the other, and one is in the Quran is telling you to look at the Bible and the Old Testament and the Hebrew, right? And when you look at it and you see where it's saying, hey, he's the unlettered prophet, you're also seeing this sealed concept. It's lock and key, literally lock and key. So either he's the seal in terms of the lock, or Muhammad is the seal in terms of the key. I submit to you that he's the key. And if he's not the key, I'm asking who is. And with that, I'll say peace and love.